Alright guys, so in continuation of the head removal of my head on my K24Z7, we will now be taking off the exhaust manifold. 1, 2, 3. Oh no, it's right there. Actually, maybe I might be wrong. This might just be like the plate. It's just the plate and then the manifold's like right there. So let's just take off the plate for right now. Yeah, looks like it's just gonna be just this one right here, 1 and 2. Hopefully we do not need to disconnect this. Correction, there is one more bolt right here. I loosened the bracket, but I did not come prepared or even think about the O2 sensor. I didn't think it'd be a problem, but as you can see now, we are in a little bit of a pickle. So from what I can feel back here, there is 112 as well as the other side right there. They look like 14s, and that 14mm nut right there. So what I'm gonna do is first get these 2 bolts at the bottom, and from there I'm gonna go ahead and see how I can maybe find a loophole to this, maybe throw in my wrench in there. I don't know, we'll see what's up. And it always helps to be organized and mark down how many bolts you take off and making sure that they're always there, you know. But even then I suck at that because it says I have 3 for the water outlet neck, but obviously I only have 2, so I'm still looking for a replacement nut. It says I'm supposed to have 8, but I am missing 1. I did find it the other day when I found out one of these were missing, which is just kind of sucks, you know, but we don't need to worry about that no more. Sorry for the shitty writing. Did have a blue marker, but left that shit at work, so red for right now. Alright guys, so I really do recommend getting an O2 sensor and removing it the proper way. I don't know if once removing the O2 sensor that whole ring will come with it, because fuck this, dude. Look what I had to do. Holy shit. Like to literally get a fucking wrench in this motherfucker. Ow, ow. To literally bend that shit with some pliers. Probably want to have the head off. I'll bring an O2 sensor socket from work, take that off and figure that whole thing out. Probably just remove the heat shield. Maybe it's there for a reason, such as to keep the wiring from cooling down, from heating up, but I'll probably wrap that with some heat wrap. And like for the other bolt, we kind of have to little bit fucking bend the shit out of that fucking bracket. Look at this bolt. Both nuts are off. I should just that should be fine for right now. I'll just go ahead and disconnect this. What I think this is probably the VTEC solenoid. I'm not too sure, but when we get the whole head off, I'll probably unbolt it. Yeah, I think I am gonna have to unbolt it just so we could get the head sent out and repaired. This one, oh, so it's like the injectors one, where you kind of like push the tab towards itself and then slide it out. All right, so next, what you're gonna want to disconnect is this connector right here. I really do not know what fell. Kind of want the harness to just be free, and it won't really be free because over here, it is attached right here. Look at this, it looks like a zip tie. And from there, it's attached to, I believe it is the VTEC solenoid. It connects to that, and it'll be free. Let's just get this out of the way. All right, so I'm not gonna lie, that was pretty hard to do, but we got it off. Keep that on the side over there. It is still connected onto the head. Actual harness, not from there, but right there, right here. That's where it's still connected. So like the fuel injectors and like this one that I just disconnected, right here, it's a little tab you just pull out. Oh, and prior to disconnecting this fucking bitch of a connector, I went ahead and detached the zip tie from the head with some long needle noses so that So after taking off the exhaust manifold and these connectors right here, we'll deal with that later. Right now, we are gonna go ahead and take off the belt, which is right here. We're gonna go ahead and disconnect this ground. We're gonna take off the motor mount bracket and motor mount itself, and I might as well replace it because I mean, as you can see, it is shot. But yeah, we're gonna have to go ahead and jack this from the bottom so it doesn't fall on us. We'll be removing the bracket. We'll do all that right now. I'm gonna be removing the belt. That's your tensioner right there. You wanna pull back this way so that way it loosens the belt. Zip that shit off, and voila, that shit comes off just like that. I mean, if you guys need to take a picture, I guess, or write it down, I don't give a fuck. But yeah, write it down or take a picture of how your belt diagram goes. Some cars usually have it on the hood. If it doesn't, I suggest taking a picture of it. Then remove it from all these accessories. Just took it off the harmonic balancer right now. Obviously, after a game of tug of war, your boy had to win. I'm just playing. Do not pull this, or you know, you could probably damage something. But I'm just going back and forth, pulling it in, out, because it kept getting stuck with the. I believe that might be the clutch for the compressor. Yeah, it just kept getting stuck with that. But got our belt. We got our 2 other bolts for the exhaust manifold. Just go ahead and put that shit over here. Right there, so hardware equals 4, whatever. I'm just gonna go ahead and take off this 10 right here. So one thing I forgot to mention is while you're doing all of this, it's best to do an oil change. I'm just playing. We're gonna go ahead and drain the oil because to do it for the sake of my own health. Oh no! Holy fuck, I just saw some water come out. Why is that so heartbreaking? Damn, dude, that sucks. And then I need to fix this. Fuck my life. Well, after that heartbreaking moment, let me just go ahead and put the drain glue back on. Man, this is such a piss off. Whatever. There you go, it doesn't matter. Whatever. Ugh. So, I jacked up the motor. I don't even want to jack it up anymore. But anyways, I jacked it up. One thing I did forget to mention, since we are going to be taking off the timing cover, I'm going to be taking off this first, so don't worry. You do need to loosen the harmonic balancer bolt. This shit is a fucking bitch, and I cannot fucking explain how much of a bitch it is, but it's a fucking bitch. Good friend of mine let me borrow his impact gun. I couldn't get it off, but I was at work. He was able to do me the favor of coming here while I was at work to loosen that, and he was able to loosen it. We'll give him a shout out later. Other than that, that's already loose. I'm not gonna mess with it just yet because I do want to like take a lot of precaution on taking that off. However, I'm gonna be removing for right now this 19 nut and 19 millimeter bolt. This is not the original bolt. I had to the motor mount was shot prior this whole fix, and I had to find another bolt because the bolt that was in there originally snapped in half. So yeah, this one worked out well. But yeah, we'll be taking off this 19 millimeter nut, 19 millimeter bolt. After that, we'll go ahead and loosen these 2 17 millimeter bolts that hold the mount, the top mount to the bracket. I really don't know how to explain it, but as you can see, it does connect it. From there, we'll loosen that one, and yeah. Honestly, dude, I'm so thankful I bought these wrenches. They have saved my life in so many different areas, not just my car, but on other cars that I've worked on. It may look like I struggled, but that's because I did, because there's no space right there. But anyways, I was able to manage to squeeze this in and went ahead and loosened this 19 millimeter nut. Dude, I didn't have those wrenches the last time. I had to replace this. Holy shit, let me tell you, it was a fucking bitch to make sure that this fucking nut was nice and tight on there. With these fucking wrenches, yo, it's something about them that just makes life more easier. So, got the 19 millimeter nut off and the 19 millimeter bolt off as well. We're gonna go put that with the cardboard over there. We will be lowering it a little bit just to go ahead and, or probably not. We'll just probably unbolt it from right there and right here, as well as right here that hold the bone mount or whatever. And from there, we'll probably be able to slide it off. And I'm gonna go put these away. However, if, like, let's say for an example, I don't really like mark all the bolts I find, or like hold and mark them. Usually I just put it back in its place, because I mean, it's not like it's gonna go anywhere. I am gonna reuse this bracket. So yeah, like so. And for y'all that don't know this, I break these loose with either like a fucking 1/2 inch. And prior to breaking these loose, I would honestly say break all these 17mm bolts loose prior to taking these off, because yeah, just take my word for it. Well, you know what I also recommend? Wanna know what else I also recommend? Not shit. This shit should fucking slide the fuck out, like so. I like to go ahead and do that, just so I know that the bolts remain right there, as well as that 10. And we'll go ahead and, oh, no, okay, my cut. We'll go ahead and put this right over here. Just go ahead and mark that this, I don't know, motor mount bracket to bone mount. I don't know. Anyways, we'll just put that right there. 1, 2, 3, 4. Quantity 4. I would probably only take this mount off for the space, I guess. Oh, and because we're also going to be removing that motor mount, just again to have all the space in the world. So my procedure, I just break that shit nice and slow. Pop that sucker off, and we can speed things up a bit with this. Bolts like these, I usually just put that back in there so it doesn't come out, and it just stuff, you get more space. This negative cable, I think, ow! I just opened up a cut. That sucks, but it's okay. So anyways, we'll put that negative ground right there. We're taking off this bracket. Now, from what I remember when I had to replace this shit, why did I have to replace it again? Oh, I think this whole thing just broke in half too, as well as the bolt. It was really bad. It's just 1, 2, 3, and then 4. Blah, right in your face. Nah, I'm just kidding. But yeah, there's the 4th bolt right there. So my bad, guys. I did completely forget. It's not just these 4 bolts. It is one more. Oh, right there. 4th one's right there. It's a pretty big bracket, as you can see. But when I take it out, I'll show you guys how the bracket looks. While removing these, you will notice that some are larger than the other, as you can see right there. Now what I suggest doing is just keeping in mind where these bolts are coming out of. This long one came from in there, and the shorter one came from right there. Now I usually, for these kind of things, put it like, kind of form it in a way where it's like that, so you'll see what I mean. The 3rd one, which is right underneath the 1st one right there, is a lot shorter. So since it was right underneath, put it like that. There's one right there, and the one that goes right there. Alright, so silly me, completely forgot about this, but to take out these 2 other bolts that hold that bracket, one hiding right there and one kind of sticking out. I did get it stuck in between the ABS lines, only because I forgot about the motor mount. So now, before we get these 2 other bolts and complete the setup, we are gonna be removing these, I think they're 17s or 16s. No, actually, I think these are 14s. Find out. But for right now, first, we'll remove these 2 14mm bolts and 14mm bolt right here as well. Pretty sure they're 14s. what I say. There we go. Dude, I'm telling you, these wrenches rock. Another one added. So I don't know why I did that. Hardware 3. Okay, after we get the bracket out the way, as you can see, we are now gonna be removing 1 and 2 17mm bolts. And after a little bit of a toggle, she's out. I'll just probably install her back. So after we got that motor mount out the way, should be able to remove this bolt. Since this bolt is right underneath that bolt, as you can see, it came out of there. It's gonna go right here, because that bolt we just found is gonna go right here. Just like that, it should come off. And this would be the bracket we just removed. And as you can see, it is somewhat according to that other bolt's just right there. Just go ahead and place all these bolts in there, so that way we know what order they go in. Lift it up. There you have it. This. I'll just do it like that because I'm getting over this shit. Alright, so now that you can see we have all this room, we have the timing cover left, as well as removing the harmonic balancer. However, guys, this is really bad YouTube content that's going to be coming up in the next part of this video. I am just getting really desperate, and recording does take a little too long, so I will be taking off this, and I will lay out all the bolts that I take off in order, as well as how I removed that. I might record here, I might record there, but honestly, I just missed my fucking car, dude. You know, so alright, guys, took off the timing cover. However, it was a little bit of a bitch. You do have to remove that 10, where that 10 goes for the VTEC solenoid, or the variable valve timing solenoid. There's another 10 right above it, and it's really hard to see. As well as these 3 bolts, you do have to remember the 3 bolts that are bolted on from the oil pan to the timing cover have to be loosened and taken out. I only pulled it out a certain amount because I really don't feel like adding it to the collection of bolts that I have right there. But as you can see, as I was taking out the timing cover bolts, that's just oil. Those are not bolts, oil, etc. But as I was taking them off, as I did to the bracket over there, I was kind of like, in a way, going with the pattern. Oh, but yeah, look, this is what I mean. This is the bolt that holds the variable valve timing solenoid. There's one right above it, which goes right there. And now, etc. I'm gonna cover that because I don't want it to rust or anything. I went ahead and covered this up because we don't want anything falling into the oil pan. Fuck that. However, right now I will be unbolting tensioners and taking off the timing chain. I do want to say I'm not the best at timing motors. I've done it here and there, and only here and there they've came out like good or whatsoever. This is my first K series. I don't want to fuck anything up, so I'm gonna let a friend of mine put this back in timing for me. Yeah, he just told me to make sure that all the cylinders were kind of evened out, so that way none of the valves or anything get bent. I'm just gonna double check with him because I don't want to bend anything. Even though this head's already fucked, I just don't want to bend anything. But yeah, I'm gonna be doing this right now. Okay, so like I said, it's gonna be a shitty video from here on out. That's okay. All we did was take off 3 10mm bolts for the right side tensioner, and we took off 2 10mm bolts for the left side. 2 looks like it's an actual tensioner, I'm saying, and we got the chain. I'm sure these are just markings for the timing, but that's fine. Like I said, I'm not gonna be the one doing the timing. Maybe not even installing everything back, because I'm literally low on time and stuff. This is the other part of the tensioner. Right now, I'm just taking off the cams, the cam caps. So, bad experience through a B series, tightening a cam. I did it out of order. I didn't know what I was doing. And I snapped a camshaft in half for improper formation. So what I did was just went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Obviously I fucked up by taking these two off, which is these two right here. I thought it was a tensioner, but I guess it just holds the chain in place. I'm not too sure, but like so. All right, so almost a major fuck up. These are not like B series cam caps where they're individually holding the cams. These are together, so that's where I fucked up. But it's okay, because we loosened them all anyway. Like I said, guys, shitty video, but got the rocker arm assembly off. I do recommend not fucking with these when you take these off. When you take them off, you want to keep these all compressed. Hold them and squeeze them together. Especially when you're prying it off, you gotta be really careful. Lifting one of these fuckers up will pop the spring. This little fucking shit will pop out. So you gotta be careful when taking this shit out. This is my first K series, so. And to top it off, this little Allen got stripped, and I had to smack in a fucking Torx socket and fucking kind of like with an impact hammer or an impact. I really don't know what it's called, but you kind of, when you like hit it with the impact, it's supposed to loosen it. I was able to loosen it. And then we had access to the head bolts. Sorry guys, light died. But yeah, we had access to the head bolts. Those are 14 millimeter fucking bolts. 14 millimeter head bolts. Wraps it up for today, guys. Like I said, I don't think I'm gonna be doing a video on me putting back the head on. I'm just gonna pay a buddy of mine to go ahead and put that on for me. Just wanted to save some money. But yeah, like I said, this was a bitch. But now, what I'm gonna be doing is removing the VTEC solenoid right here. We will be sending the head to go get resurfaced. Yeah, that Allen bolt goes right here, and having some difficulty with it. But yeah, that's your head removal video, guys. Like I said, sorry it was shitty towards the end of the video. But it's okay, because I'm sorry, but I'm really not sorry. Cooling all in the pistons. Fuck me, man. Should be back up and running. You can see the coolant that was coming out of the exhaust. Shit. Active, I guess, but whatever. Like I said, hope you guys enjoyed whatever was helpful of it. Late.